Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Delighted to have a special guest with us this week.
Ian, it's great to be with you, man.
See you, brother.
It's so awesome to be back home and
home.
visiting you. It is home.
I know, that's the thing. I mean, is most people know you from your home base in Arizona.
Sure.
This truly is home. You were an assistant pro. You know everyone up here. It's a true homecoming.
Yeah, you know, I'm getting older, so all my buddies are getting older, but it's nice even Rob Roxborough's here, one of my dear old buddies. And then I haven't played here since 1997. Remember Ben? Well, Ben Kern is the name that you're familiar with, but he was one of my mentors.
Of course.
So he was the first, I want to say, GM, whatever the COO position was here. So, I mean, it's a special place to me, even though I haven't been here in almost 30 years now. It's crazy.
Well, it's nice, I'm sure. We were just talking, escape the Arizona heat in the summer. This is a perfect day out here. It doesn't get much better.
Yeah, it's dynamite.
So, we're going to do a few things together. This is first of a few segments we're going to do together. Guys, you'll be familiar with the products that we've reviewed on the channel, that Martin has on his Tour Striker sort of portfolio, the Tour Striker Smart Ball, the Tour Striker clubs, PlaneMate. Obviously, we done the 2.0 recently.
Appreciate that.
We're going to talk about a few more of the new tools.
I can't help myself, man. I tinker.
You just can't help helping golfers. You've got all these devices.
So this was originally, I wish I could remember the fellow's name, a Canadian Tour player back in the day, the Golfer's Toolbox. And then he sold it to the Golf Yogi, who's my dear buddy Mark Williamson. He actually does the yoga portion, stretching portion of my golf camp in Phoenix. Because everybody out there, I tell you what, you're probably too stiff in the old glutes and hammies, and so all of us, right? So we don't stretch, and so Mark took over the Golfer's Toolbox, and then I've run with it a little bit. So what you're holding there is a 48-inch, basically fancy aim stick that includes 3 other aim sticks within it. And then it's got these, what they call clutches, so that you can position the stick. So basically, if you're a practicer outside, I'll kind of walk people through it. So it's got this aluminum cap, which is kind of cool. Unscrew it, and then inside you've got 3 aim sticks, pretty neat. And I'm not selling ShamWows here or slap chops, but so most folks, when they come to the golf camp, alignment's a big deal, routine's a big deal. I always say to the golfers, if you take care of your soft skills, like the things that you're in charge of, like grip stance, posture, alignment, and you can walk into a golf ball nicely, you've got a lot of the opportunities for success handled.
Right.
Most people want all the sexy swing technique. Yeah,
once the club is in motion, it's a little more tricky, but as you say, these are the things we can control.
So the most basic thing we do with this, we use it as a T-square, and so I'm going to say 80% of the people that use the Golfer's Toolbox are going to pop it on the ground. Now they've got their ball line stick, and they've got their aim alignment here, right?
So we get ourselves making sure that ball position is right.
And it's nice, and as you take divots, you just give it a bump and you kind of work back with your feet or whatever. And then the neat thing is we've got, for those of you that have to hit off mats, which is a lot of Canadians, and obviously you guys in the wintertime, we've got this adjustability feature now where these clutches tighten down, and you just, once you give them a solid tighten, now you can kind of position the stick wherever you want.
Right.
And you see guys like Justin Thomas won't have a range session without some kind of
setup.
Check on where he's taking it back as he works through P2, P3 and beyond.
Right. And that's something that I'll be the first to admit, I need some P2 to P3 work through the club, getting a little bit to club head, getting behind the hands early.
I'd say everybody's that way.
Yeah, and indoor, I struggle with that.
Right.
Because what do you stick down? If I'm on the range, it's fine. Like you say, I bring out my alignment sticks and you're fine. But when we're in the bay, so that's fantastic.
And so with this too, it's like you're in the bay and you can set it down and you can adjust. And we use a lot of ways. I mean, you can position it again on a mat. The one of them is basically holding this from falling over. And then, if you just basically stand on it a bit, you can just position it because that'll hold that tightly enough for you to set in. And if you want to work on your, posterior, where you're at. But I'd say most people, 90% of the time, they're going to use it as just a protection mechanism for traveling.
Sure. I mean, that's a very essential but basic function that we all need.
Leave it in your bag. It's an aim stick and it's stronger than your driver.
Yep.
So when you travel, you're not going to break that expensive shaft.
One thing I noticed with it, it's very light. So when people travel with it, and maybe if you've got it in the bag as you play, it's not like you need to offload it, put it in the car before you go play because it's weighing you down.
It's aluminum. It's a pound and a half.
Yeah.
So it is a pound and a half. So walkers would be like, okay, it's a bit more extra
Yeah.
exercise, but it's
nothing. A couple of grips on there, we can swing with it.
We sure can.
We can loosen ourselves up
So,
with it.
you know, a lot of folks, like if I just pop the sticks out, you know, so, you know, like right now you feel how light it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy,
There's literally nothing in there.
I know, and it's surprisingly strong. So, you know, a lot of folks, I'd love to, I wish I could say I could go into a serious steep squat for you right now, but it's going to be a big time fail, and I don't want to tear my pants. So, but you know, just swinging it too. It's like, can you just, it's something nice to, you can put a ton of pressure on it. You're not going to break it.
Yep.
And then this is one of my favorite stretches, obviously, when the lats get a little tight.
For sure.
You know, so there's a lot of ways just to warm up with it as well. With the sticks in, it's a little heavier, so if you want a bit more weight when you're warming up.
You showed me something I really liked, which was for putting.
Yeah, yeah. So you can take the sticks and, you know, you can go through the eye holes on the grip, and this will hold it secure. So
I'll grab a putter.
Yeah, grab a putter. So if you want to putt, you can do a couple different things. So we can kind of pop it in the green, and now we've got an elevated aim line.
Yeah.
So, you know, one of these things is and there's some dashes on this, on the toolbox.
Gives
so
us a little feedback, so we'll get kind of.
And so, you know, here's your quote straight back and straight through, and I think the camera can pick up, even though the shaft's going straight back and straight through, there's an arc on that club head.
The blade is still rotating nicely.
Yeah. So this kind of event, you know, I mean, I guess you could probably, depending on the green speed, eventually you're going to run into that clutch that holds the sticks in positions.
Yep.
But for somebody just kind of working on their stroke length, you've got a way to hit some putts, get the ball in the location you want it, let that sweet spot come in contact with the ball, let it roll down the target line. So just a simple way. And then you can also, if you want to, you can use it as, you know, tip it down a little bit, and then you can set the golf ball underneath it and use it as an elevated target line.
So, I mean, it is a true Swiss Army knife when it comes to practice. I mean, I'm sure by the time it launches and it's on there, is it on the website already for sale, or is it still?
No, you know, and I don't know when you'll air this, but obviously, it's soon. We're talking mid-September.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so, you know, you can do a lot of little exercises for kind of playing awareness on both sides. And, you know, with 3 sticks, the middle stick will hold it up. So you can use it in grass. You can use it on a range mat. It's got protection.
Yep.
You know, and then obviously that we call it the toolbox, because you'll use it one basic way most of the time, just alignment.
Sure.
Soft skills of walk-in routine and setup. You mean you want to take some of the guys through a little bit?
Let's do it. We'll grab Mikey
awesome.
and I think it'd be good to show people how they can use it.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to run Mikey through a quick session, quick demonstration.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so we're going to run this through what Mikey's been struggling with, a couple of things, and I think, you know, we're just chatting there about some of the alignment, some of the playing potential that this will help you with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched you make a few swings. So you're you know, they always say in golf as a joke, change a grip and lose a friend.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we can have grips that are maybe super pleasing to the eye, or we can have them on one end of the spectrum or the other. Yours is on the strong spectrum.
Yeah.
Lead hand's already pretty strong and cuppy, or extended if you want to call it. So when you take that lead wrist and you flatten it, your face gets really strong.
Right.
Okay, so you're on the way down, you've got this face that's really strong, your brain knows it, that's kind of saying, hey, I'm gonna hit a left, and then you're a good enough athlete to say, I'm not gonna hit a left, kind of raise the handle to make the loft point more to the right.
Yep.
And that's why you're getting like these divots where all little toe scratches, and not really that, Mo used to say bacon strips and not pork chops, but it's, you know, in Canada it's really pea-meal bacon. It's a little thicker strip than it is just a bacon strip.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
So come on in here. You'll see I put this stick in for you on the down the line because I noticed the club was getting a little inside. So again, this is a Justin Thomas. This would be a, Rosie does this all the time.
Yeah.
Let's hit 1 or 2, just with the awareness that you've got a plain stick to keep you from whipping it inside. Yeah. And if you want to adjust it, all you do is just kind of give it a little tweak while you stand on it, put it a little higher, and you're golden. And that looks about right. Good. Good. Awesome. So, you know, that's out the middle of the face a little nicer.
Better.
That was better.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know the viewers didn't watch the warm-up sesh, but they were kind of toey, a little thin, nothing you want to write home about.
Every weekend it's a toey strike. It's been a long time since I've struck it where you hit it and you're like, okay, yeah, that was pure. It's always a toey strike.
So, you know, for the viewers, when you think about this, you know, you got the club face, and if the grooves can travel parallel to the ground, and that's why I love the quad.
Yeah.
right? Because a quad, that's what the unique fitting feature for me.
100%.
Because when you have a delivery where the toe's down 10 degrees or 7 degrees, the only place you can really hit it is out the toe, and it never feels quite right. And when you take loft, everybody, and I think all your viewers, Ian, are, you know, they know this, but I'll just kind of illustrate. The more the toe raises, the more the face wants to point to the right. I mean, the more the toe goes down, the more the face points to the right. And then the golfer gets used to some flashy move down at the bottom to fix it. So we want to take out the complexity of all that and give you simplicity. So simplicity-wise, like just kind of fixing the backswing path a bit so you don't whip it inside.
Yeah.
Right now we get a little bit more into stuff that wouldn't necessarily be easy. It might take you a couple of weeks. Okay. So when you look at, let me step in and hit one just for funsies. So the reason I like this station, by the way, guys, is because I say it's a soft skills. So to me, every student has to walk out the stick. You know, P and Lynn, the Marriott, you know, Vision 54, awesome coaches from Scottsdale.
I work in this all the time.
Think box, play box, right? So back here, when you're developing your game, I want to see a mild ball location change for you.
Okay.
So the more forward, so when you know, you're going to be in your kind of think box place back here, working on where your club is going to track back a little bit more straight back feeling rather than too rotationally inside. You know, so I get it to where people walk around, they put their trail foot on the target line, set the face, take a look. There's a bit of a waggle. Now notice my ball location's a bit more centered than yours.
Yeah.
Right? Because the farther back it is doesn't mean I'm going to hit it low. Just means it's going to start out more to the right.
Right.
And so watching you warm up, where was the propensity to, I mean, you hit a couple skinny ones that went right, but the solid ones hooked a bit.
Yeah.
So if the ball moves farther back, now that club's on this approach, it's on this arcing approach, it's going to hit it a little earlier, start it straighter, rather than hit it later and hit it more to the left.
Right.
Okay? So hitting a shot, little waggle, little look. So fairly crisp strike down my target line, right?
Hear
now,
the difference
so
there.
good,
So hear the sound of that?
Yeah.
So I was able to kind of catch it out the middle more, only because the club is traveling level to the ground, buddy.
Right.
So if you think about your development as, okay, how do I make the club behave better? So as a coach, I want to make the club behave better. You got great rhythm. Okay, so how can we get these feelings to where the opportunity for the golfers to have it come out the center more? Make sense?
Yep.
So come on back in here for a sec. Does that make sense?
I mean, I know I play as much golf with Mike as anyone, and everything you've described so far is his game in a nutshell.
Cool. So set up no ball, just to the back of the divot patch. Okay, cool. Now, if I stand in here and I just kind of trap the golf club and I put you into impact. So what I'm going to do is and not even that far forward. I'm looking for a little bit more rotation of the pelvis. Right. And do you see how I'm keeping the heel of the club on the ground more?
Yeah.
I'm trapping it with my feet, but I want your goal to feel as though, can you swing the club through space, and can this golf club, when it intersects ball turf, can it be level to the ground versus like something up here?
Yeah.
Now I know I could say, okay, hey, let's do something with the wrists, or I could give you a goal,
right?
An external feeling to say, okay, I need this mental imagery of how this club can pass through this area down here and not be way toe down, because there's your issue.
Yeah.
Right? Now when you do get this way, guess where you're going to hit it? Harder.
Hard. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to add in a little ball location change so it starts a little straighter.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. And then we've kind of got your golf swing managed a bit so you can't zip it inside. So let's put a ball in play. Let's see how we do. So that this is going to feel like it's in the middle of your feet.
Yeah.
Like right between your heels.
Yep.
Welcome that. So even more. So scooch more to the left, both feet. There you go. Now this doesn't mean hit it low. It just means the circle could start it more to the right.
Right. Okay.
Take a look to your left so you kind of get a visual for where you're going.
Yeah.
You look great. Okay. So we missed. So now ask yourself, you missed.
Yeah.
We all missed.
Yeah.
Right? And I say welcome it and move on. Now look inside yourself, ask yourself, okay, what bugged me about that?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what's the pot? Now this next one, let's hit this next one. let's see if we get the face on it. What are the possibilities of a great strike?
Right.
So come on out here for a sec.
Okay.
Walk out of that station.
Yeah.
Think about what it's going to feel like dynamically to take this golf club, right? Have it work back a little straighter for you.
Yeah.
And how it's going to feel to actually feel more like the heel can touch the ground rather than the toe touching the ground. Make sense?
Yep.
To do that, pelvis is going to be a bit more open. Trail shoulder is going to be a bit lower. You'll probably feel, Mike, that this ball comes out lower in flight to you, and that not because the ball's back, more because, you know, of the way your body's going to have to respond to the attempt to get the grooves level to the ground.
Interesting.
And just to kind of touch on think box, play box, guys, because I think this is a real nugget for all of you. What Martin's asking Mike to do is be thoughtful out here, you know, go through the motions out here, but when you're in here, this is where we're ready to play the shot.
Absolutely.
Right? Do it in two separate spaces. So guys, when you get over the ball, you're not consumed by thought, you're not paralyzed by this, and this. That's done out there, right? This is where we do, this is where we think.
Yeah. And I encourage Mike, take a look. You know, I always say to students, look to your left, kind of connect to the target.
Yeah.
Because you've got to foresee the goodness. Like every shot I hit may not be the outcome I want, but prior to hitting it, the sound was great, the feel was good prior to hitting it.
Totally.
And then if it happens, perfect. And if it's some degree of miss that's functional, yay. Because that's all I'm looking for is functional misses. And if I hit the odd, really nice shot, good for me.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. Yeah, so give me one more routine.
I tell you, I don't do this think box at all. We played enough golf where if it's fast golf, we're on a good spot, but no thinking.
And so, you know, viewers, so one sec here. So here's the thing. If you're playing fast golf, and I want you to play fast golf, you have moments where you just got to step up and hit it.
Yeah.
So there's two ways of doing this. Come on over here for a sec. So it's my turn. I'm going to basically always walk in from behind, look down my line, pick an intermediate target always, because I'm never going to take for granted my aiming my face first, my feet second, and then waggling. So that doesn't take long. Now, say Ian's in the group and he's got a shot and he's over there thinking about hitting it with the laser or whatever. Now you've got to be, because you don't want to hit when he's hitting. So now you have a moment to say, okay, I'm working on my width of my backswing. It's not zipped inside. And then what does it feel like to get that heel of the club more into the ground than the toe of the club?
Okay.
So you can prime that one time.
Yeah.
Now, okay, he's hit, then you walk in.
Right, okay.
Right? So golfers at home, don't slow down, please play fast golf, right? But my point is, you see how you'll have opportunities?
Yeah.
And so if you play a round of golf, you're going to hit 40 full shots.
Yeah.
So if you can prime it 20 times, play 10 rounds, now you got 200 layers of priming that's getting you, instead of here, how to get the heel a little bit lower, the groove's more parallel to the ground, so you're in a really fittable position.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
According to the quad.
Yeah.
Good. So prime one, let's walk in and hit it, or miss it. I always tell my students, hit one or miss one. It's okay. Feel how nice and wide, and straighter back in the backswing.
Not heel in the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And you're going to feel like you're going to carve me a little heel divot if you can.
Yeah.
Good. Nice visual. Ball location's more centered. Excellent. Okay, so that's to be expected. Like really solid.
Yeah.
And a little bit hooky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when you start getting that loft a little bit lower and lower and lower, where does it start to point? More to the left?
Of course, yeah.
So the sequence of how you unwind's got to change a little bit.
Right, okay.
And that's where like, it's one thing to have a coach say, okay, Mike, focus on these things. Then it's your responsibility as a golfer to say, all right, I'm going to take a little time, go to the range, see if I can't get my body to get this club in a more playable position.
Right.
Yeah. Hit
This
one
is
more.
cool because I will say, like, even if I do practice, which is very rare, and he'll say, I mean, I go out and practice, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Well,
I'm just hitting balls just to get loose. I get bored
You
easy.
get bored.
Okay.
So this is structure for you.
I'd rather go hit 160-degree wedge shots as high as I can. And
No, and you know, the creative golfer like you, that's playing. I love that.
Yeah.
But there is an element of play and development. And so if you get stuck as a player and you're kind of at that ceiling, and you're a good golfer, I mean, you break 80 when you play, you challenge 70, that's really good golf.
Yeah.
But when you're in that stuck phase, you need to say, okay, just need a hint more development.
Totally.
Because I don't want you to go down the road of, you know, being shut face, handle razor.
Yeah.
Right? I'd rather you start to figure out how to, on your own, not through my words necessarily. I've given you a few nuggets, now own them, make them yours, right?
Yeah, no, cool.
Now ball location, a little bit wider backswing, let's see it. Always take a look to your left, be in love with that target. Okay, so lovely rhythm, nice swing.
Nice
The
skinny,
ball's
yeah.
coming out the gun a little to the left.
Yeah.
You know, mild pulls.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it'd be interesting when you play with him. Is he a bit of a right aimer on the golf course?
Yep.
Yeah.
A total right aimer.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So see what I'm saying? And so that's why you can build a beautiful game with a bunch of little quirky behaviors, because that's golf.
Totally.
Okay, but you're a young man.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I have ties older than you. As you get older, we want to make sure that we don't kind of get ourselves into a bit of a corner that
Right.
makes it hard to really enjoy the game when we're 55, 65, 75.
Totally.
Right? We want
Yeah.
to be as effective as possible. So
Cool.
that's how I try to coach
Love
people.
it.
But good fun, bud.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you. Appreciate
Great
it.
to be with you. Thanks for letting me
Brother.
have a look at your man here and show off the toolbox a little bit.
Well, the great thing with this and kind of what we're talking about here is Mike is on the channel and doing a lot of our testing.
Cool.
He's at a swing speed that a lot of people can relate to, kind of mid-80s with a 6 or 7 iron.
Yeah,
So people will see this evolve.
I relate to that, Mike. So
Yeah. So people will see this, and you know, when we see your sort of toe deflection numbers on quad, guys, it's great because I know so many of you struggle with this. We see it in the bay, don't we?
Yeah,
We see how
all
many
the time.
people do we have the conundrum as club fitters when we see them toe down, but their ball's going a little bit left, and we go, well, you know, if we make that more upright, we're making it go more left. So we're stuck in the role as the club fitters. We don't want to, you know, hinder your game, but we know this isn't right.
Yeah.
We know this isn't good long term. So we then, you know, we'll have a partnership or a relationship with a coach and go, okay, this is it right now. We can send you off to the golf course with a clear conscience, knowing that you're going to play good golf
Yeah.
right now. But long term, this is going to hinder your development.
Yeah.
Please go and see a coach, work in this a little bit, you know, and come back and see us. What we
that's
assess.
why that's why I'm a big fan of you and what you guys do, because you've turned away as many sales as
We
you
have.
make.
We have.
I mean, because the golfers, you know, you're like, buddy, I'd love to sell you a brand new set of whatever OEM is the fantastic
Yeah.
gear for the day. But the fact is they turn these guys away. It's like, I went to go get fit, they wouldn't sell me clubs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because guess what? Your swing's a wreck, man. Let's
Yeah.
get you sort of within like a parameter, and then they'd love to sell you some fantastic personalized gear.
We absolutely would. Well, this is awesome. I love. We've introduced this. We've talked about it, and we've put it to work.
Dynamite, love
yeah,
it.
and that's exactly what
On my
we want to
website,
show.
all my little potential how-to training
Yeah.
videos will be there for
Cool.
viewers too at some point shortly.
Amazing stuff, guys. This is multiple lessons in one video for you, so I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be a phenomenal tool, launching very soon on the Tour Striker website. Huge thanks to Martin for coming out and doing this.
My
with us.
pleasure, man.
This is
Great to be
awesome.
with you guys.
Love it. Okay, stay tuned for more, guys. We'll see you again soon.